Yeah, where's our
We have a U.S. flag.
U.S. flag?
Put one on your pad.
On it.
I call to order this Three Rivers Local School District Board of Education meeting on Tuesday, March 8th at 6 p.m. in the elementary cafetorium. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Evans?
Here.
Ms. Hughes?
Here.
Ms. Miller?
Here.
Mr. McDonald?
Here. All right, approval and dispense with the reading of the minutes for our February 8th, February 22nd regular meetings, February 2nd, 10th, 17th, and 28th special meetings. Do I have a motion for approval and dispense with the reading of the minutes?
I'll make a motion that we approve.
And I'll second the motion.
Roll, please.
1 second. You mind if I get a name to go with the, I can't quite see names.
Miller and Hughes.
Miller, sorry.
Hughes.
My sinus started.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Hughes?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes. All right, we have one item, as those watching will be able to see. We have a treasurer present that isn't normally here. I would like to make the recommendation to the board to approve of a resolution to appoint Thomas Lowe as our interim treasurer effective March 1st, 2022.
I'll second.
Roll, please.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Hughes?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes. Just want to say thank you to Mr. Lowe for agreeing to come in and be our interim treasurer for a few months. We greatly appreciate it. And also thank you to the Southwest School Board and School District for allowing him to serve in that capacity in his off hours. We really greatly appreciate the support from the local school district to help us out. It means a lot, and we want to thank everybody. So thank you. That leads us to our committee reports. We'll start with the academic curriculum with myself. We had a meeting today actually, and in attendance were Joan Stidham, Megan Rivet, Lisa Whiteley, Mr. Biedenbach, and Mrs. Sims came, and we had one community member, Michelle Richards, attend. We started with an elementary update. We talked about gaps in learning from COVID and an intentional focus on how to close the gaps in learning. There was a peer observation program that was started by Mr. Biedenbach in the elementary. And what he did was he asked for volunteers for demonstrating how group time was done in their classrooms. And he got a bunch of volunteers, and then everybody in the building had an opportunity to observe at least one other teacher engage in group time. And the focus was really to figure out how do you create meaningful work for, say, 20 students while the teacher works with a group of, say, 5 students on a particular task. And that's challenging, obviously, because you want to provide meaningful work for everybody, and how do you keep that moving, and how do you keep students coming in and out of that, and how do you pay attention to those 5 students while keeping everybody else doing something meaningful. So everybody got to observe how other teachers ran their classrooms to take back ideas for their own classrooms. So I thought that was a really innovative idea, and it was a really neat thing that they did. And everybody got to participate in that in the elementary. Let's see, we are also looking at the middle school. Something that Mrs. Sims mentioned was that she was trying to revamp the way specials work in the middle school. She wanted to expand options, largely based on the staff that we have. What are their own skill sets and what can they offer in terms of unique opportunities for our students? So looking at each grade individually, they were able to come up with specials that would realign their schedules to make it so that students who were participating in jacket time didn't necessarily lose out on the opportunity to go to gym, because some of the students really appreciated having some of those specials, but if they got pulled out for jacket time, they might miss all of a particular topic. So this will allow them to align better so that they have the opportunity to do both the specials that they want to do and still participate in jacket time. It will also expand jacket time to provide learning for advanced students and students who need additional help. So it provides more flexibility for that as well. And then the thing I asked them to do is to create some external communication for how this change will occur, and then the board will get notice of what that will look like so that we'll have an opportunity to provide any other feedback before they roll that out. We also talked about summer programs. We have about 400 students enrolled to date. We have a little bit over 100 spots left for the 3 weeks of the summer learning opportunities. The grade level distribution is pretty even throughout. We've got about 50, 60 kids at each grade level that have signed up. We also have a pretty good distribution between the 3 weeks, pretty even enrollment and openings left open. So that's really good news. And there are a lot of student groups that are volunteering to help out for the summer opportunities. So we have a lot of people becoming involved. And then we scheduled our next meeting for April 19th at 8 a.m. at CT Young. And that's about all I have. Are there any questions? Okay. I'll send it over to Mr. Evans for the Building and Grounds Committee report.
As a committee, we did not have a meeting. I hope to have one in April. My goal was to start these after we had our full-time treasurer on board, but we know that it's going to be a little while longer. But I do know we have some topics for executive session tonight that concern buildings and grounds, so I will get a meeting scheduled with Tom and Dr. Alt here probably in April before spring break, if that works, so we'll schedule.
All right, that takes us to the Community Outreach Committee with Mrs. Hughes and Mrs. Miller.
We actually had a Zoom meeting with Corky and Dr. Alt in reference to getting some different ideas for some different community outreach involving maybe the churches. Christina said something about maybe involving some of the different homeowners associations, things like that. And so we're kind of in the works on doing that stuff as well. And that's kind of where we're at right now. I don't know if you want to add anything else, Christina, to it.
No, just in the development, we do have the April event for the real estate that is already posted, and the TRCAN meetings are posted. I think that those will resume.
Are those on our website? Okay. Well, we can get those to Lisa so we can get those put up on the website too.
We've talked about engaging our community in coffees in the evening. Susan, Christine, and I would set some dates. See, we know people are busy, but maybe some local establishments like Chicago Jackets, open forum. Kind of bring your questions and just sit and talk about our school or our community. We've also discussed and in the process of trying to find a date through TRCAN for Lewis Blessing Jr., who's a rep in our area, to talk about recent and current legislation that would impact our schools or our community. And then that's the real estate agent T in April. And getting back and getting some consistency, hopefully face-to-face, our people in our community.
Any other questions? All right, that takes us to the Finance Committee with Mrs. Schneider, but she's absent today, so we'll hear from her again next month. That takes us to our Superintendent Report with Dr. Alt.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. I'd like to block items A through O. I don't know if they do that in Southwest. Okay, good. I thought I'd throw you a curveball. Under personnel, recommend the following personnel items to be approved. Letter A, the resignation letter for Kelsey von Herzenberg, ELA teacher at the middle school, effective March 3rd, 2022. Item B, the retirement letter from Jeffrey Smith, a high school English language arts teacher, effective June 1st, 2022. Item C, the retirement letter from Kathleen Ellsbury, a cook, effective June 1st, 2022. Item D, the retirement letter from Patricia Weimer, cook, effective June 1st, 2022. Recommend a non-teaching contract for Rebecca Helton as a bus driver, effective March 21st, 2022 through June 30th, pending background checks, drug and alcohol testing, and CDL licensure, 4 hours daily at step 4. Under item F, I recommend the following listed individuals as bus driver in training, effective March 9th, 2022, pending background checks, drug and alcohol testing, CDL licensure, and completion of all required training at $17.85. I might add that we were pleased to have 3 additional drivers added to our list. And Justin and Kim have done a great job of recruiting in a very difficult market. Item G, 3-year administrative contracts for the following individuals, effective August 1st, 2022 through July 31st, 2025. And those individuals would be Kevin Cook, middle school assistant principal, Dan Perlman, high school assistant principal, Mark Smiley, high school principal, Marlinda Updegrove, director of food services, Justin Hagenstein, transportation co-director, and Kimberly O'Mara, transportation co-director. Under item H, a 3-year administrative contract for James Holland as safety security coordinator, effective August 1st, 2022 through July 31st, 2025. Item I is a 2-year non-teaching, non-bargaining unit contract for Lori Waffney Stout, our kitchen manager, effective August 1st, 2022 through July 31st, 2024. Item J is the renewal of a 1-year agreement with Desiree Stephan, independent contractor for student physical therapy services for the 2022-23 school year at $65.16 per hour, to exceed 30 hours per week. In instructional areas, I recommend the following instructional items be approved. Under item K, summer program coordinators from May 31st, 2022 through June 17th, 2022 is listed. Emily Hannon, Pam Ray, and Holly Sims were pleased to announce that we will be offering summer learning opportunities again, paid through our funds that we've received from COVID relief and ESSER dollars. Item L is the proposal for an overnight student trip for the Taylor High School Choir to New Orleans, Louisiana, departing April 8th, 2022, and returning April 12th, 2022. The choir members grade 9 through 12 will be attending, and no district funds are expended for this trip. Under athletics, I recommend the following athletic items be approved. Item M, athletic supplemental contracts for the following individuals for 21-22 school year, and background checks and proper certification. Kylie Drawn, junior high track coach, assistant coach. J.J. Clark, varsity track assistant coach, and Stephanie Stanford, softball volunteer coach. Under item N, athletic supplemental contracts for the following individuals for the 2022-23 school year, pending background checks and proper certification. William Busey as our boys soccer coach, and Dabbs is our varsity girls soccer coach, David Granson, varsity football coach, Brian Kestner, varsity boys golf coach, Sarah Kemney, varsity girls golf coach, and Dalton Bickelsheimer, varsity girls tennis coach. And then item O, athletic supplemental contracts for the following individual for the 2023 school year, pending background checks and proper weekend block.
Yes.
So we go for A through N.
Do you have any questions on any of those items? I just want to make the comment that, because sometimes we get questions about this, the stipend amounts, the 5%, 10%, 20%, those amounts are laid out in the contract, correct?
That is correct.
We don't
CBA.
make those up. Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments? All right. I guess I'll make a motion that we approve items A through N as read.
I'll second.
Mrs. Miller. Roll, please.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Hughes?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
And Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Under item O, I'd like to recommend that we approve the athletic supplemental contract for Chelsea Graham for the 2022-23 school year, pending background checks and proper certification as our varsity girls volleyball coach.
Any questions?
I'll move we accept item O as presented.
And I second.
Sorry.
That was Mrs. Hughes. Roll, please.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Hughes?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Abstain.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes. And that takes us to our treasurer's report with Mr. Love.
Item A, we recommend approval of February board financial report, investments, monthly invoices, and monthly bank reconciliations included in the board packet.
Any questions about anything in there? Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve item A as read.
I will second.
Mrs. Miller. Roll, please.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Hughes?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes. All right, do we have any announcements today?
We do. Under our strategic plan, as you know, we talk about step up all the time. The S in step up is successful students. And it has just been a plethora of achievements and awards for our students this school year. So just a wide variety of areas, individual accomplishments and team accomplishments. And I am going to refrain from naming every individual because I know I would probably leave somebody out. But I know, for example, our students both at the high school and middle school have been Gold Key Scholastic Award winners, maybe 14 or 15 of the high school students. We've had a middle school student whose art was selected to, I believe, hang in the Capitol building at the Riv Center. First time ever. We've had a high school student have their art project displayed. Our theater production of Grease was outstanding. We went to a production for Annie. Just can't thank our staff and our students for the work on that. Our bowling team, both boys and girls, just did really well. Girls won the CHL, won the sectional championships. We had a couple of boys that made it to the districts and went on to the state competition. We've had our swimming athletes doing well, both boys and girls in the districts. We had one young man that made it to the state. I think he finished 8th. They broke school records, personal bests, all good things. Basketball, of course, boys basketball team won the CHL, competed very well in the sectionals. James Holland, Coach of the Year, Andy Austin, and several others were receiving league awards and district awards, and just a lot of accolades for those fine young men who represented our school in such a positive way. this Saturday, DI, Destination Imagination, along the lines of academics, right? We had 7 teams. They all qualified for the state, reaching the top tier. Saturday, we hosted it here so they could move on in April to the state competition, Destination Imagination. Our high school students, and perhaps have looked at our website, we have some videos out for 7 individuals, I think 7 different students, maybe a little more, in our career academy, sharing their passion projects. The videos are really captivating. Our kids are passionate about it and they're learning a lot along the way. Academics, again, we had mentioned these 2 individuals previously, national semi-finalists. 2 of the 4, we had 4 out of this class in Taylor High School. 2 of the 4 were named national finalists. So that's Anthony Martini and Lee Garber 4. That means they finished in the top 1% in the nation among all high school students on this assessment. So just super proud of them. And they're going to be rewarded, I think, with some really great opportunities post-graduate. And then I want to forget, and I know Mr. Evans, we talked before the meeting about a wrestling program, and both boys and girls. And it's a fabulous program. They're doing well.
Thank you, Doctor. I'll just real quickly, the wrestling program being near and dear to my heart, I do follow it quite a bit, but we have 3 wrestlers qualify for state. And the girls team, actually Megan Werber, came in, and she's the state semifinalist, so she came in 2nd place in the state in her weight class, so congratulations to her. She's only a sophomore, so we have lots of good things to look forward there too. On the boys' side, we have 2 wrestlers that are going to state competition this weekend. I believe it starts Friday. One is a senior, excuse me, let me get on the names over. Dylan Davidson is a senior, and then I believe Jimmy, I'm going to say this wrong, Lezas is a junior. But Dylan, they're both going to state and won the CHL. Dylan, I wanted to give him a shout out because he actually broke 20-year-old school records in the number of wins per season, which I think is 41, and the number of takedowns in a single season. So congratulations to all 3 of them, and good luck to the boys this weekend in state.
Stepping up, couldn't be more proud of our students.
Congratulations. Great.
All right, any other announcements? Okay. Hearing of the public. Anybody want to say anything? All right. Old business. New business. And sadly, we have the need for executive session again for the employment of public personnel. So I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session for the employment of public personnel.
I will second.
Mrs. Miller, second. Roll, please.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Hughes?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes. We won't be doing any other public business when we come back out, so we'll go to executive session and then we'll adjourn.